Yo, 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 what up? It's your boy, Tireless Golem, and here we are once again, day number 13. Let's go. We've got the mission rewards to open up, so let's see what it is. I honestly don't care one way or the other if we get a crown rare today, because in, 3 days, we're going to get a crown rare once again. We have been getting some bad luck, but you know what? So goes. I don't really care if we never open a crown rare in this set naturally, because ultimately, as I said before, we're just in it for fun. We're in it to win it, and we're also in it to have a conversation with my viewers and just kind of enjoy the real fun of just talking and chatting. That to me is more fulfilling than trying to get get a crown rare. We have goals here, but it's more about the process. As I say, it's about the process. So, few updates. I want to thank everyone for 2,500 subscribers. Hello. That's kind of crazy, right? Was not expecting to get 2,500 subscribers by the end of the year. It's definitely quite nice for that to happen, and I really appreciate everyone's support. Now, some people in the comments are saying, "Oh, you might get to 3,000 subscribers by the end of the year." I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna try to quell those allegations because I really don't think it's going to happen. I really don't think we're going to get to 3,000 subscribers. First of all, it's already the 29th. So there's only it's today, tomorrow, and then the 31st. So there's only 3 days left, and we'd have to get there would need to be a miracle for that to happen. Okay, so it would be nice if it did happen. Obviously, of course, I would want more subscribers. Of course, anyone would, right? But we got to be realistic here, because I said realism is the key to success. I think that a lot of the pessimism in the world happens because people have different expectations. Like, there's expectations and then there's reality, right? So if your expectations align with reality, then you're satisfied. So obviously anyone would want to have a good number of subscribers, but I can't really ask for too much this year. We've already gotten so much. I was even thinking it'd be nice to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and we obviously doubled that goal. So I don't know what to expect in the future. 2026 is coming, and it's coming quick, and I'm definitely excited for the future and what this game is going to do for us. Now, I've gotten a lot of people who wanted to trade with me and be friends with me. I trade with people that I'm friends with and that are people on the Discord. So join the Discord. We do giveaways. We're going to be doing another giveaway in January, as I mentioned before. And aside from that, I think those are pretty much all the talking points, all the announcements that I really need to make in this video. We got a hit here at the end. Let's see what it is. But yeah, I wanted to take this time, since we're opening up packs and kind of enjoying the moment, to talk a little bit about mistakes. I think that mistakes are very important in life. And so I got a little bit of a story time for y'all. I've definitely made a lot of mistakes in my life, and I've actually asked people in one of the larger discords that I'm part of mistakes. Is it okay to for people to make mistakes or no? And the vast majority of people, I get 10 different options. It's okay to make mistakes, it's not okay. The vast majority of people probably in the gaming community, I would say, would agree that it's okay to make mistakes as long as you learn from them. And I think that learning is all what this is all about, really. I say even in the beginning of this video, it's about the process, not about the end game, right? Yeah, we all want the end game, but realistically, when you're making a YouTube channel, what is your end game? Once you get to 1,000 subscribers, you don't just stop there, right? You keep going. There's not really once I reach this goal, that's it. Or losing weight is a great example. I lose weight, and then what do you do there? You don't just all of a sudden celebrate and then gain all that weight back, right? It's still an ongoing process. And so this is why I think, in terms of realism and in terms of expectations, it's important for us to align realism with align our expectations with our realism and our goals. That doesn't mean you shouldn't shoot high or aim for the stars. Definitely try your best and do the best you can in life, but don't overdo it. Do not overdo it with yourself. And this brings me to my next point, which is that when I was, studying and going through like, difficult exams, first of all, just as much as everyone else, I have a pretty decent life if I'm able to afford to spend all this money on opening up packs, right? But it wasn't like that before. I was, there were times where I was like, when I was growing up, I wasn't the wealthiest person in the world. Obviously, I'm still not the wealthiest person in the world. But we all are in it for the betterment of our lives and our futures. So I obviously had to take exams in the process of getting to where I am now. And through the exams, I was largely doing well. I largely did pretty well in my exams. But there was one exam that you definitely don't want to screw the pooch on when you take. And I was really sick. Okay, I'll just tell you right now, I was really, really sick. Um, I had some sort of viral infection, and you actually probably know that I get sick pretty easily. I get sick almost once a year, it seems. And so I got sick. I ended up taking the exam when I wasn't ready. I was probably well equipped to take it if I wasn't like coughing up my lung, but I was really sick. And so I think ultimately I decided I was going to take it and see what happens. And that was a mistake, right? You definitely don't want to take an exam thinking that you're going to fail. Ooh, look at this, megalopony. But that was my mistake. I took an exam when I could have delayed it. I could have waited and, held off and taken the exam much later in just like maybe delayed a year of my progress, I guess. But I had to delay my year anyway. And not only that, but I definitely suffered from it too, because, when you go out into the real world and you move on to the next level, it definitely hurts to have a failure like that on your record. But at the same time, you know what? I stepped up. I got the help I needed. I learned from my mistakes. I realized, I'm not gonna take an exam if I'm not ready for it. So I passed with flying colors. I worked really hard, like anyone does. We're getting like all the good hits today. What is going on here? We got a Serena. We got a 2-star Charizard. We got all the good hits. This is crazy. And Megalopony is also a very good hit too, by the way. Megalopony is also a very, very good hit. People are talking about how good that card is. Wow. People are talking about how good Megalopony is, and we're getting all these really good 2-stars. It would be nice to get a crowner, obviously, but I'm not gonna be upset about it, like I said. But yeah, it's just kind of crazy how the world is. You work hard, you get to where you are because of your efforts. And yeah, it's true. There are some people who are really lucky in life, and they get to where they are, even not like maybe they didn't deserve to get there, or maybe they didn't work as hard, or maybe they were just born lucky. Everybody has their own different backgrounds, and it's important for us to like be sensitive to everyone's like how people are responding, right? Because some people are poor, some people are rich, some people are book smart, some people are street smart. But I think the universal thing, regardless of where you come from, is that you're going to make mistakes. And it's okay for people to make mistakes. It's okay to fail, as long as you learn from it. And I think that learning goes a long way in the process. The process of humanity, the process of experiencing life. I think that one of the things that I've learned definitely from my life is like, I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm not perfect, but I try my best to be as, the best that I can be, and that's all you can really do. You just try your best, and do your best, and then after you do your best, that's all you can ask for. I remember when I was in what grade was it? I was in like either middle school or high school, and I was taking geometry or some math class, right? And I remember saying, "Oh, I worked my butt off. I worked really hard for this, and I still only got like a C on this exam. I can't believe it. I was so upset." And the teacher overheard me saying this, and the teacher said something very insightful. The teacher said, "Tyler Scullum, you did the best you can. You should be happy. What do you mean you're upset that you only got a C? You should be incredibly happy. That's a huge accomplishment, right?" And I'm like, "Teacher, what do you mean by this?" And the teacher said, "Well, you can't do more than 100%. You can only give it 100% of your efforts. And if you're telling me that you studied your butt off and you worked the hardest you could be, you did everything in your possible mindset, everything you devoted to getting as good of a grade as possible, then who cares whether you got a C or a B or an A? If you worked your butt off and that's the best you can do, then that's the best you can do. Have no regrets, right? Because the one thing that you would regret, right, is if you didn't study and you got a C, because you could have gotten an A or a B if you had studied harder. But if you're telling me that the hardest you did, you tried your hardest and you got a C, you should be proud of yourself, right? You should be proud of that C, because if you didn't do your best, you could have gotten a D or an F, right? It could have been like that. So that was something that I really took to heart, and I thought about that. I've been thinking about that since for years, for decades, right? Think about how long it's been since we were kids. It's really really funny how you remember these stories, these experiences of people saying things, and these little tidbits of experiences and people sharing their pieces of wisdom carries you throughout your life, and you think about them, and they really touch you. Like that conversation I had with that teacher has stayed with me this entire time, realizing that, you know what, we do the best we can in life. We will make mistakes, but we learn from them, and you do the best you can. And if you do the best you can, then who cares what the result is, right? Because like I said before, it's about the process. It's about doing your best and trying your best. I've absolutely tried my hardest to get a crown rare, right? Which is another reason why I can't be upset. I think if I were upset, then that's me being upset at like Mother Nature or the universe for not giving me a crown rare naturally. There's gonna be sets where you open good, and there's gonna be sets where you open bad. And there's nothing that you can do about that. I have no control over that, right? So that's kind of where I'm at. We've been getting a lot of shiny Shanshoos, a lot of them. I think every single day I've gotten either a shiny Shanshu or a Sand Slash of some sort. But yeah, I really do think that people need to realize that nobody's perfect, right? Pobody's Nerfect, as they say. In one of the episodes of The Office, one of the great sayings is "Pobody's Nerfect," and I definitely really enjoy saying that because it's true. And I think we should, instead of being sad about not being perfect, being upset about it, I think we should cherish that. I think we should not only accept it, but we should be proud of it, because that's part of being a human, right? Is just not being perfect and doing the best we can. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this conversation I had. I really do think that the website's doing well. The YouTube channels are doing well. I'm really looking forward to 2026, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.